Let's begin with our breathing. Find a comfortable position, whatever you prefer, whether you're on your back, your side. You can sit or you can get into your shell stretch. I think today I'm going to start in a modified shell stretch and just begin to allow yourself to melt into your mat. Let your whole body just grow heavy in whatever position you're in to the floor. And begin through your nose with an inhale. Exhale out through your mouth with your exhale. And just start to get that rhythm of drawing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Letting yourself open up through the back and the sides of your rib cage. Most importantly, thinking about drawing the air into the deepest and lowest parts and lobes of your lungs. And when you exhale out through your mouth, feel yourself breathe through your lips like you're blowing the candles out on your birthday cake. And as you warm up through your breath, start centering your attention into your body. See if you can kind of let go of the distractions that might be going on around you right now, or the things that you might need to get done once we finish up. And let yourself just sort of feel what's going well in your body right now. Maybe what feels a little bit more stiff this first thing in the morning on a Tuesday. And then hopefully by the time we're done today, you could find yourself back into whatever this position is and see if things feel just a little bit different. So let's continue in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your head and your neck and your shoulders just relax. Open up through the front of your collarbones. Let's take 2 more deep inhales and exhales here together. Begin to feel your abdominal wall engage as you exhale and shrink up your waistline. And 1 more good breath. Perfect. And then let's come on up to our cat-cow here. And you're just going to start by rounding and imprinting your abdominals. Let your head hang down and find yourself looking through your thighs. See if you can curl your toes up underneath you too, because we can catch a little stretch through our arches of our feet as we elongate out to the cow. So we're going to round and scoop. Let your head hang down. And then as you send your sit bones out behind you, lengthen through your spine. Really press out through your sit bones, both towards this back wall and even out to the sides. And keep those curled toes so that we can stretch out through the very base of your toes and your arches. It's interesting, I've been spending so much time at home. I don't really wear shoes very much, and I've found that my feet have been a little bit more sore, just much more awareness of my feet. And so I'm trying to be more mindful of stretching out the arches and the calves. I think it's good not to wear shoes. It definitely helps strengthen your feet and your arches and gives you a lot more information when you're out of shoes through your feet. But sometimes you can find that your feet tire because we're used to shoes. So just be mindful of getting those calves stretched. Let's do 1 more cat-cow here. And giving a little bit of support to your feet through stretching, maybe self-massage or stretching out the calves to make sure that everything's feeling good. And let's just do a little rocking from side to side, hips, go side to side through the center, just a little bit more upbeat pace than we usually do. Good. Rock it side to side. Awesome. And then let's roll through our pelvis. So we're forming an oval as we go side, back, side, and forward. Good. And then let's reverse that. Go counterclockwise. So your weight stays in your hands and your knees, but we're going to move through our round back to our straight back and around again. And then let's do a little figure eight as we shift around. So think of your belly button or your pubic bone like the tip of the pencil, and probably more like somewhere in between the two. And you're drawing some figure eights on the floor underneath your belly button to pubic bone area, and then reverse them. Good. And round it around. Let's go one more time. Around and back through to our center. And then let's add just a stretch of the legs and a stretch and reach. And get that front body opened up. Send those legs straight up behind you. Support your abs so you're not overarching your low back. And really send those feet away and send them out. Just take that time to find the length through the whole back side of your leg. Good, let's do one more. Perfect. Great, let's come on down to the floor now. Let's head to our side to do our spinal rotation. So we're gonna drop down our ear to the mat, stack the hips, knees, and ankles, and then go ahead and reach up, look to your hand, and open for a twist. And this time I'm gonna let you bring your hip back. Open up as wide as you can to the floor behind you. Really stretch, look back at that hand, and then reach up and come around. So again, let's reach, look, and let yourself twist to open. You're keeping the bottom hip planted and you're opening through your chest, stretching out the whole front line of your arm. You come on up and come on over. Let's do a couple more. Take the full twist. Just keep those legs stacked. Reach it up and come over one more time. Take that full twist. Good. Feels good. And come around. And then let's switch sides. And you'll see how it looks a little different on the other side. Okay, so we're going to reach up to the ceiling again. And this time we're going to open for the full twist. And when you do this, you're really going to be able to notice that you typically rotate a little bit better to one side than the other. And that's okay. We all have a little bit of asymmetry throughout our body. We just want to try and be aware of it and work on making ourselves as equal and symmetrical as possible. But we, as bodies, are typically asymmetrical. Good. And come around one more time and open up. Catch that stretch, reach, and come around. And then let's go to our back. And let's find our heavy neutral spine, our heavy tailbone, Feet are parallel, hip distance apart. And let's imprint for a few, just slightly imprint and release. Good. We mixed up the order a little bit today, and that's okay. We're just moving through our warm-up a little bit differently this morning, changing gears and feeling good about it. Good. And find yourself loosening up that low back as you imprint and release. Reach your fingertips down the length of your mat. And on our next one, I want you to go ahead and imprint and lift. Grab an inhale up here at the top. And then slowly, especially on this first one where you get to feel all the feels of your spine after you slept all night last night, go through your spine segmentally. Roll through your imprint and release to neutral. And let's do it again. We scoop, peel, and lift. come up to our blades. Your eyes are just gently gazing at the ceiling above you, or you can close them. And just roll your way back down. Nice and slowly find those sticky spots. You know where they are best. And take your time rolling through them, releasing out to neutral. And then scoop, heel, and lift. And roll it down. And exhale as you lift. And exhale. Roll straight down the center of your spine. Good. 3 more here. Let's lift and peel it down. And lift and peel. Last time here. Peel it up. Perfect. And roll it back down. Very nice. Okay, let's grab our foam roller and we're going to put that up underneath ourselves. And you're going to go from head to tail on your roller and stabilize with your feet parallel and hip distance apart right in front of you. Good. So make sure it runs right up your spine. We're going to take our hands to start off with and begin with just a small floor angel. So we're going to drag our knuckles around. You're not going to come all the way up over your head just yet. Come a little bit above shoulder height and back down. We're just warming up our wings here, so to speak. And so start slow. Let this chest open up. And then as you get going, come up a little higher with each round of angels until you get your hands right up over your head. And you'll notice that you go from dragging your knuckles on the floor, and the higher you go, your hands are going to get airborne. And that's just totally normal. Just try and stay nice and heavy through your knuckles throughout. Stabilize on your rollers and check your eye line so that you're gazing just directly right above you on the ceiling. Perfect. And then let's bring our hands up to the ceiling and do some reaches. Kind of scoop through those shoulders and underarms. Reach through the side of your rib cage here and come up 2 inches to the ceiling and reach. And scoop and reach and scoop and reach. And let's go 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. And then let's open up and come together. And then come up a little higher on our diagonal and come together. And a little higher and together and then overhead. So we're going to work our way down now. We're working the clock, but we're just going to work the upper end of the clock today. So the lowest you're going to go out with your hands is right here at about 3 and 9. And back together. And then 2 and 10. And 1 and 11. And then you come right up to 12. Let's work it down. Opening. Getting this nice dynamic stretch across your chest. So you could stay at any point. Let's work one more time up. In any one of these positions. If you like 2 and 10 and you want to hang out here for 30 seconds, great. You might need it, and it might be really helpful to just lengthen and or work your way through the clock dynamically and feel the benefit of working both sides of the arms to get the opening. And let's finish up here at 3 and 9. Let's bring our hands up off the floor here. And go ahead and point to 2 little pencils. And let's do tiny circles out to the sides as we stretch. You're somewhere in the thumb up area here. Okay, so we're not really palms up and we're not really knuckles. You're more in the thumb up, and we're going to circle. And then let's reverse. We did about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then let's go ahead to our sides, reach our hands along our sides, And let's alternate arm and leg lifts. Now if you need to, you can put a fingertip down on the floor. That's fine for a little stability. And if you want to try without, great too. Set yourself up and go. Make sure you're steady before you go to lift. One more. Perfect. From here, let's nod your chin. Just lower to your chest. Eyes up, 2 inches lower on the ceiling. Eyes back up to the horizontal. I guess it would be more to the vertical, actually. Let's just look at the ceiling. Lower and lift. For 4 and 3. Lengthen right at the base of your head on your spine. And last one. Good. Okay, let's get rid of our rollers. Just set them aside for now. They may reappear, so let's keep them handy. And let's go ahead and lay down on our mats. We're going to find ourselves back in our neutral spine here. We'll begin with our ab prep. So you're going to nod your chin, reach your hands here, and come up to look between your knees and back down. And when you come up, slide your ribs to your hips and come on back down. And when you come up, keep a little space in your low back and roll back down. And let's go 5. And exhale 4. Last 3. And 2. And 1. Excellent. Let's go ahead and come back down. Let's bring a leg up at a time and hold it here. All right, now let's go ahead, keeping that imprint. I want you to reach to your sides. And I want you to come arms up and down for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And then out to the side for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now we'll go on a 45-degree angle. And 1 and 2, last 3 and 4 and 5. Triceps bend and stretch for 7 and 6, last 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Arm circles. Let's go 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and bring it back down. Good job. Let's roll over to our stomach. Let's go ahead and lay flat here in our low hover. Hands are on the floor, just on the outside of the mat. You're in this hover. Press up to your bottom rib angle and come down. Inhale, lift and lower and lift and lower. Let's get some extension through your mid back here without going into your low back. And lift and lower and lift and lower. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Excellent. So we are going to stay in this hover, and we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together and lift our arms. And squeeze to lift, back down, and lift, back down, and lift, back down, and lift, back down. 2 more. Lift and lower and lift and lower. Now we're going to go to our goalpost position. Now if you feel like you need to, you can rest your head on the floor. You could always stick even a little towel or sweatshirt under your head if you want to support your forehead. If you want to hold it here, stay in your hover and lift your goalpost arms. So you're lifting your palms from the floor, squeezing your blades together. You can let your head rest down. It's usually more comfortable if you have something underneath it, and or hover. 2 and 1. Good. And come on back down. Now again, from here, let's send our arms out so we look like a T here. but pinkies are gonna come up. Same thing with the head, either down or hovering, and lift. Execute through the blades. Push your hip bones into the floor. Support your abs to protect your low back. Last 3, 2, 1. Flip your hands, go thumb up, same thing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then our last one, we're gonna go up overhead and out to the sides a little bit. So you're gonna look like a Y here, and you're gonna lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Now let's definitely grab a shelf stretch here, because those invariably are pretty easy to let your low back get involved. So we want to make sure, in case we did that, we stretch out, widen the low back, pull your belly button into the center of your spine. I want you to reach right arm under your left underarm and look through to thread the needle. Turn your head and stretch to that side. Really feel yourself reaching for the arm under the underarm. Bring it through, and then go ahead and rotate and reach to the other side. And turn your head. Take a few more breaths here. Good. Come on through, and let's press up. We're gonna come around and do our 100 here. Okay, so let's do our 100 today. I want you to really work, since we've been thinking a lot about shoulders and mid-back and shoulder stability and all that good stuff today. I want you to really work on getting those arms really pumping today when you're doing your 100. So come on up, one leg at a time, and imprint. And you have choices, head up, head down, legs in, legs out, whatever feels right to you. But we're gonna really work on pumping those arms. So let's start with our inhales. It's in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 10, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 20, abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 30, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and X, 2, 3, 4, 40, abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach, 2, 3, 4, 50, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reach, 2, 3, 4, 60, abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 70, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 80, abs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 90, last 10, and out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Good, just bring it down, roll across your low back a little bit here, and then let one leg at a time come down to the mat. Let's stretch our legs out. If you have your hand weights handy, go ahead and grab those. If you don't have weights, you can either use small little water bottles or you don't need anything. All right, so our legs are stretched out and our hands are gonna come overhead. And before you get started here, when your hands go overhead, just check in to make sure that you're not popping or flaring your ribs, okay? You should be feeling kind of loosened up in that area, but you want to make sure if you go too high and you flare, then come up a little bit. We're going to reach to the ceiling, and then we're going to nod our chin and reach forward over our toes, okay? I want you to keep your toes pointed up to the ceiling as best as you can. Stretch to reach, and then roll your way back down. Reach through your arms to the ceiling, and again, overhead without popping the ribs. So you've got to stay connected and knitted up through the front of your rib cage. So we reach and round. Reach for the toes, stretch to reach, roll it down. Come all the way down, hands overhead. So everybody's working with this one. It's actually one of my favorites. I love this stretch. I love how you have to really work all the body together to make all the movements happen. Nobody gets off the hook in this one. We're all connected from top to bottom and front to back. Good. Roll it down. Head comes down, hands go overhead. And you can see as you get going, things loosen up. It's just so encouraging to feel that within the scope of a single exercise. Good. 2 more. Round it up and reach. Good. And roll it back. Take your time. Touch each vertebrae down one at a time. Hands overhead. Last time. And roll it and reach. And then I want you to take it into the saw. 2, 3. Stack it up. And then saw. 2, 3. Stack it up. Stack. And 1, 2, 3. And stack. Good. Find your sits in that middle. And get your chest bone up to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3. Up. And 1, 2, 3. And up. And 1, 2, 3. Up. And 1, 2, 3. Good. Last time here. And 1, 2, 3. Good. Let's stay seated. Let's go ahead and bend our knees. I want you to reach your hands straight out in front of you. If you have your weights, bring them with you. You're going to roll back. And from here, I want you to swim. Push those hands behind you as best as you can. Pinkies lead for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, from here, straighten out your legs and stretch for a nosedive. And stack it up. Bend your knees. Bring your elbows to your sides. Roll it back and bicep curl. You can also do this with straight legs if you feel comfortable. Elbows high. 3, 2, 1, and then reach for your toes. Stack it up so you can start with straight legs. I have a little bend here for my hamstrings. You can start with bent legs if it feels more comfortable. All right, we're gonna go ahead and roll back, and we're gonna rotate from side to center and side and center. Rotate, center, looking straight up in front of you. Turn through your rib cage. Good. Keep your abs scooped and rotate and center. 2 more. Center. Center. Last one. Center. Center. Take your hands and reach for your nosedive. And then go ahead and stack it up nice and tall. Good. Let's ditch the balls. And let's go ahead. Let's do a little rolling today. So there's 2 ways that we can roll. You can roll with your hands on the outsides here, or you can come into your legs and then grab the outsides. It's up to you, whatever feels more manageable. I'm gonna try it this way because I normally do it the other way. I wanna just see how it feels. So you're behind your sit bones, and we're gonna roll back, and we're gonna roll forward. Good. Ooh, that was quick. Excellent. And we're gonna roll and roll. Try and slow yourself down at the top. Good. Rock and roll. Use your exhale to stop you right there. And let's go 4 and 3. Last 2. Up and 1. Perfect. Now let's stay in this controlled balance position, but come back here, put our hands behind our thighs. And then I want you to reach and bend, and reach and bend. So I lost it there. I'm going to come back up, find my controlled balance, and reach and bend. Stretch through the back of your legs. And 5. Keep your chest up. 4. Last 3. 2. There we go. And 1. Good. Set your feet back down. Let's roll down to our mat. One leg at a time is going to come up into the air. And let's crisscross at our ankles. So we're going to work on our roll up. It's both the roll up and the jackknife. Initiate by popping your hips up here from the floor. Think about your knees going up to the ceiling more than going up over your head. Shoot them that way. So you pop up and lift and lift and lift. Good. Now crisscross your ankles the other way. Trust me, it feels different. And lift and lift. And let's go 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Now let's take our hands and put them up underneath like the very bottom of our low back, top of cheeks. Okay? And what I want you to do here is I want you now with straight legs to hinge. Okay? Straight legs, hinge. So this is where we're going to start working on our roll up and jackknife. We're going to hinge. This is our initiating move and finishing move. Okay? And hinge. Squeeze the thighs. Good. Bring them in and let's do our bicycle. This time though, let's really ride a bicycle. Circular. Good. Use those hands to help support the low back to deepen your imprint. Now reverse your bicycle. And you can lift your head up if you want to add a little plus to it. Good. 3, 2, 1. Good. Come to your center and let one leg hang out. Come to the middle and the other leg hangs out. Out, together, out, together. Straight legs. Open and close. Good. And together. And then both legs. Out and together. Good. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Great. Go ahead and grab your knees on the outsides. Let your hips stay nice and open. Your feet are pulled up towards your face and pull your your knees in towards your chest. Stay nice and wide and do this happy baby pose. Couple of breaths here. There's a lot going on in those last few. Let's set a leg down at a time. Perfect. Let's just do a little bit more abs here. So let's go ahead and bring one leg up at a time, one more time, and let's do our single leg stretch, okay? So you're gonna come forward and we're going to reach and reach and go as low as you can out on the diagonal with your legs, holding your imprint. 2 more. Last one. Good. Now put your hands behind your head and rotate. Rotate through the rib cage. Keep the elbows wide. The ribs lead, not the elbows. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Come to center. Squeeze your thighs together. Perfect. Now I want you to go ahead. I want you to reach and circle around. Look up to your feet. Keep your chest lifted. Come around. Reach and reach. Circle and lift. Reach and reach. Circle and lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Circle it around, and let's head through our scissors. We're gonna pulse, pulse, and switch. Pulse, pulse, and switch. Straight legs. Look out for your thighs. Good. Strong front of thighs. Quads are firing. That's it. 3 more. Last 2. And 1. Good job. Awesome. Roll it down. Good. Give it a little massage to the low back. Awesome. And now let's flip to our stomach. Good. Good job. That was an intense series of a lot of abs and coordination. You guys did great. So let's go ahead here and start with our hands stacked and our forehead resting on them. Okay, so we're going to begin with our bent leg. We're going to bend to point, flex, point it out. Point, flex, point it out. Good. Stretch out the front of your thighs here. Keep your legs in 2 parallel lines. Good. Single leg kick here. Point, flex, point it out. Point, flex, point it out. Hip bones are pressed into the floor. Abs are lifted. Stretch it out. Point, flex, point it out. Good. Let's do a couple more. Work on the flexibility of the front of our body. Point it out. Last time. Point it out. Point, flex, point it out. Now open up the hips. Okay, let's lift with our foot turned out. Heels are facing each other. Toes are turned away. And lift. And lift. And lift. Bring it up. Good. 2. Good. 1 more. Perfect. Now straight legs. So now our feet are parallel, toe to heel. Really lift. Think about how we were popping those arms. Pop those legs. Two more. Excellent. Send your hands to the side of the mat. So we're sort of back in our goalpost move here. This time, you're going to reach your arms overhead and swim them around. So you reach and swim. Good. And reach and swim. Reach and pull to swim. Now on the reach, try and stay up, but if you need a second to set your thumbs down, that's okay. And then pull through. Come around. See if you can avoid that, but it's not a problem if you need it to get it going. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And then let's go ahead, come on up, hit our shell stretch. So heels to tush to heels. Stretch out through the arms again. Really try and get these fingertips out away from your behind. So getting as long as you can. Through your shoulders, through your hands. Lots of energy sending it on the opposite direction of your heels and your tush. Take a couple more breaths here. One more. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead from here and grab our foam roller. And we're gonna put this foam roller down here by our feet. And we're gonna hold our mummy arms out in front of us. And you're gonna send the foam roller away and pull it in. And away and pull it in. So right now, you're trying to keep it nice and horizontal. You can see it skid on me a little bit. So lots of control in that it stays horizontal to the mat. You send your legs out to your heels, Pull into the balls of your feet. So the back of the heels into the balls of your feet. My legs are parallel. Good. So this is sort of like the stomach massage, but we're doing it without a moving surface underneath us. Now I want you to go ahead and turn out and do the same thing. Open and turn out. So you're wider than hip distance apart with your feet. You roll to the back of your heels. Stay scooped here. Reach out in front of you. So you're trying to keep your shoulders over your hips as you come and go with your feet. And pull it in. And pull it in. Good. That's it. And pull it in. Each time trying to get those hips a little bit more pulled in, or the knees a little closer to your body. And let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Send it out. And then I want you to reach forward for your roller. Keep your toes pulled up to your nose. Grab your roller and stretch forward. Good. You're going to come on back up, set your feet on the roller, and lay yourself down. Now find a comfortable spot on the roller for your feet. I sort of like my arches to be there, and if you need to, we're going to pick our butts up. I usually need to get the roller a little closer to me. So from here, we're going to do our hip lift. So we're going to lift our hips and set our hips down, okay? So find that magical spot. It might take a couple little adjusts, as you can see, to find where your feet feel best, but you want them to be parallel as you lift and lower, and lift and lower, and lower. And let's go 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Hold it up in little pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And set it down. Good. Stretch out your legs. Give the back of those legs a little break. Bring it back. And let's lift up again. Come all the way up and go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Stretch out those legs, toes to the ceiling. Pull them back in. Last round here. Lift it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Send the legs away. Good. Stretch it out. Pull them back in. All right, we're going to try this. We're going to just hover off the floor just a little bit. And we're going to come and go. Just small movements. Come and go. Heel to ball. Heel to ball. To ball. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back and set your hips down. Shoot out your legs for a stretch. Oh, bring it back in. Okay, so we're coming up again, just 2 inches from the floor, rolling the roller under our feet. Up, so it's heel to ball. Good. Massage the bottom of your feet. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And set it down and send your legs away. Good. The roller starts to get away a little bit. So if it got a little bit away from you, draw it back in, set yourself up. We got one more round of this. We're going to really work those hamstrings today, but don't you worry, we'll stretch them out. So let's come up, heel to ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down and stretch it out. Good. Let's take this chance and reach up, roll forward, and then let's go ahead and reach for our roller. Or grab your ankles. Good. Tops of toes, whatever works for you. Or bring the roller a little closer because you can get a grip on it and stretch it out. 5, 6, 7, toes to ceiling, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. That was a hard series. Good job, you guys. A lot of action there. Let's go ahead from here. Put that roller aside and let's turn to our side and stretch out into sideline. Okay, so now we're here. We're gonna get ourselves into a straight line. Okay, you can check it. You almost want to be able to not see your feet if you look down the line of your body. Bring your eyes back straight out in front of you. Let's point and flex. Okay, what I want you to do is there's this gap between your rib and your hip here. Okay, and when we lift, a lot of times we squeeze it together. I want you to reach very far through your toes the opposite way so that gap doesn't fill up with this. Keep that gap open, wide. You may not be able to lift your leg quite as high. That's okay. I want you to stay open through this soft part right here, okay? Stay open for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Good. Now I want you to go ahead and bend your knees. And then I want you to open and close here. A fire hydrant. All right, still keep this wide open. I don't want you to shrink up into this space. 4, we're gonna hold the last one up. 3, 2, 1. Now pretend like your foot right here is on the foot bar of the reformer. There's a bar here, and you're gonna push out and in. And as you push out on that bar, the carriage moves away and back in again. Push out and in. You're sliding along that machine. We're playing a little imagination here right now. Good. And 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Hold it up. Circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And reverse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And reverse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Set this foot down behind your other leg. Straighten out that leg and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now both legs straight. Top lifts, bottom meets. Top lifts, bottom meets. Good. And bring it down. Keep that space open. Rib to hip. Stay open through there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's go ahead now and lift together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Good. All right, let's change sides. So we did the side leg series with a few bonuses in there. All right, so stretch it out again. Nice and long here. Look down the length of your body. Make sure that you can hardly see your feet, and then bring your eyes straight out in front of you. Okay, so now really top, rib to hip. Stay open as you reach to point and flex. And point and flex. Reach through the toes as you point away, and keep reaching as you flex down. Good. For 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Let's bend those knees in. Perfect. And lift and lower. The foot follows the hip and the knee, and lower. Good. Stay open through that top hip, rib to hip area. Keep reaching now through the length of your top leg. Your knee is pointing to the opposite wall. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Pretend like your foot's on that bar. push out on the bar, and slide in. Push out, slide it in. The carriage is moving under you. Good. So here you're pushing against resistance of the springs. It's pulling you back in for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Point it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it down, put it behind your front leg, and then lift and lower. So you're open, still through that top body, and lift and lower. Eyes out in front of you. 4, 3, 2, stabilize the top shoulder. 1. Now we reach them both. Lift, squeeze, bring it down. Point to lift, squeeze, bring it down. Get those heels to meet. Good. Squeeze to meet. Squeeze to meet. Last 5 and 4. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now they're together and they come up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job. Bend them in. You can give a little massage along the leg if you need to. And then we are going to come back up and around to sitting. Good job, you guys. That was an intense series of glute work in Sideline. All right, so let's go from here. I want you guys to keep your feet on the mat, hip distance apart. Let's bring our hands behind our head. Ooh. One moment, please. And we're going to go ahead and do our neck pull. And so what you're going to do here is start on your sits with your hands behind your head, just one stacked on top of the other. And you're going to roll back, just your low back. You're going to rock forward, nose to knees, and stack up nice and tall. So we're going to roll and rock. Chest comes up. Roll it back. Keep those feet on the mat. Might want it to levitate. Really resist letting them come up, but get your chest up here. So you roll back, you rock forward, you stack it up. That's it. Just the low back. Come up. Make sure you achieve this lifted position before you roll back again. Don't cheat yourself out of this length right here. Let's go 3. Exhale. Chest up. And 2. Exhale. Chest up. And 1. That's it. And up. Perfect. Hands to the mat. And let's go ahead, keeping our back straight, lift our butt. And set it down. And lift. Good. And lift. Now I want you to keep your elbows a little bit soft here and your shoulders down from your ears. Walk your feet away and walk your feet back in. It's 1, 2, 3 steps out. 1, 2, 3 steps in. Set those shoulders down. Elbows soft. Walk 2, 3, in, and again, out, 2, 3, and in, 2, 3. One more time, out, 2, 3, straight legs, in, 2, 3, and set it down. Good, just go ahead and give your knees a hug. Take your nice last deep breath here. It's not really your last deep breath, but in this position. And then let's go ahead here. All right, so I promised some hamstring stretching. If you guys have some sort of band, belt, tubing, strap, towel, whatever you have, great. If not, you're just gonna use your hands, okay? So what I'm gonna do is take this band and put it around the sole of my right foot, and I'm gonna lay down here, send my left leg straight up. I'm gonna find my heavy tailbone here, hanging on to the ends of whatever you're using. You're gonna straighten out your leg, okay? Here's where the honesty comes in. If you want a straight leg, okay? Now, if you get to this point and you're all good, this is where you stop. If you come further and find your back getting smashed into the floor, you've gone too far. So come back out of it and find that sweet spot of where you still have a little bit of space in your low back, and then you still have the ability to get your knee nice and straight. Okay, if you don't have a band, you guys keep going if you do. Take your hands behind your thigh, okay? And then just try to actively straighten out your knee. Same rules apply here, okay? You still have to get that knee as straight as you can using your own muscles, so a little challenging, but keep a little bit of space in the low back here, all right? You're gonna hold it for 30 to 60. Now imagine too, let's switch sides and I'll tell you this scenario, okay? So now we're gonna go the other leg. I'm gonna use the band because it's here. You're gonna straighten out your bottom leg. You're gonna find yourself in a heavy tailbone. You're gonna hold that leg straight at the knee and lift only as far as you can without losing the space in your low back. So my scenario here is, this is my favorite hamstring stretch. I also like it in this exact position in a doorway. So if I were to be laying outside of my door, I would have one leg through the door and my heel on the outside of the door frame. And I would scoot my butt in or away from the doorway, depending on the flexibility in my hamstring. Okay, so you would get in as close as you could, getting your legs straight without losing your mouse hole or your little bit of daylight in your low back. And then you'd scooch over to the other side of the door frame and do the other leg. All right, so enough of that. We got our hamstrings. One more stretch today. I want you to crisscross your right ankle over your knee, and I want you to pull your left knee in. Now the same goes here. Truth be told, I could pull my knee in a lot farther, but I wouldn't have any space in my low back right now. So I could get to here. I would feel stretching in different places, but what I'd really like to feel is this stretch across my cheek. So I'm gonna try and stay neutral and hold this for another inhale and exhale. And obviously for time's sake, just because we're here in class, let's switch sides so we get both. Crisscross left over right knee, pull that leg in, hold your heavy tailbone position here. And listen, there is a time and a place where curling up in a little ball would feel good, and that's okay too. I just want to show you what I think is ideal. So let's take another inhale. And just an FYI, you could do this in the door as well when you're doing your hamstring. This foot that's in the air right here could be on the door frame, and you could be resting it there as you bring this leg across, and then you wouldn't have to use your hands at all. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys so very much.